Hey guys, so I just got off work and I like when I'm walking alone to the SkyTrain so that I can actually vlog, because in the past there was always someone with me. And then once I start my earlier shift next week, again there'll be people with me, so there won't be as much vlogging on the way home from work. But yeah, I just feel like I wanted to talk about using time productively and forcing myself to do more things, because I do a lot of slacking on the internet and stuff, and I feel like I could be a lot more productive with my time, and I'm sure most people do feel that way. But also just finding the time to say yes to things even though I feel so busy all the time. Like on Sunday when Jacob texted me, he's like, hey, do you want to play some Mario Kart today? My first thought was, oh my god, I'm about to start this live stream. I do not have time to like play Mario Kart. And then I was like, no, you know what, I can make time. I do have the time. And so like I just trying to say yes to more things. Also, he just texted me like half an hour ago or something asking if I want to go to the Richmond night market this Friday, and all I can think of is how I'm so behind on my YouTube videos. I'm like, I need to get this animation done and then I need to make a YouTube video, and I was like, no, I'm gonna say yes, because one, I need to get out of the apartment more and two, I really want to go to Richmond night market, but also I just need to like just do more things, just say yes. My life does not need to revolve around my YouTube channel and like work. I need a bit of social life in there too, you know, so I just gotta say yes to more things, which means I just have to budget my time a little better. And I feel like I'm getting a little bit better at that with the whole one-day weekend thing, so I don't know, I like keeping busy, so hopefully I can stick to this. So that little clip I filmed of that weird area that was at Bridge Studios, they have this huge inflatable blue screen. It's got 3 sides and it's massive, and they have this big raised platform and there's a monster truck on it, and so I was like filming it. Yeah, I just thought I would film that because it looked really cool. I was gonna film the mountains and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, that thing's set up, and so I filmed that instead. Because when I passed it yesterday, I was like, oh, I wish I would have filmed that, but I didn't even have my camera out. So yeah, I don't know, I thought it was kind of cool looking. Christian got home early, which is awesome, although I was planning on having supper ready by the time he got home, but whatever. I still like it that he's here home early, but I'm kind of hyper and excited tonight, and poor Christian has a headache and he doesn't feel good at all, so poor Christian. Oh, the sad face. Let's get a little closer. So now you're smiling because I'm laughing at you. That was so sad though. Okay, so I just found this clip online that my mom told me to look for. She's in New York, or she's maybe on her way back now or something. And she went to the David Letterman show with her friends, and they were in the audience, and I guess the staff was talking with her and stuff. I'll have to phone her when she's actually back, because I've just been texting because I couldn't call her while she was in the States because it'd be really expensive. So when she's back, I need to call her and ask for more details on the situation. But yeah, they talked with her and her friends, but that wasn't on air. That was just kind of, I don't know. And then they did the whole David Letterman top 10, and number 6 involves like the city my mom lives in, Medicine Hat. And so I need to ask her how this came about. So that's Medicine Hat, and then there's my mom and then her friends. And it's just like their reaction in the crowd. So I wonder if they were talking with them before they did the top 10 and then found out they're from Medicine Hat and then just stuck Medicine Hat in the top 10 thingy. I don't know. I'm gonna have to ask her for details on how that came about, because it's really random, but it's so funny. They just like, because I don't think they knew that was coming. So it's just like Medicine Hat, and then they're like, she's gonna hate me for doing that. Sorry, Maps. But it's exciting. Okay, so I brought my animation frames into Photoshop, and I put the layer that's on top, I set the opacity to roughly 50. So that I can see both at the same time, and I can make sure his legs are aligned, and that's what I'm using as the main sort of anchor point, because his feet don't move. They're not supposed to move, so I'm nudging the frame so that his legs line up the best. But that makes it so the registration holes don't necessarily line up, which is really freaking me out. I don't know. And then I made my way up, so I have layer 1, and then I make sure that layer 2 matches layer 1. Then I make sure layer 3 matches layer 2, layer 4 matches 3, and etc., etc. And then when I got to layer 7, I was like, I wonder if it's now moved, like if everything is shifted. Does it match layer 1? So I hid everything except layer 7 and layer 1. They did not match at all. So I'm like, what the hell? I'm kind of going back, nudging some more, but I think I just need to not be so picky about it, because things are going to shift slightly, and I think if I just stick to my method of making sure his legs are properly aligned, I think it'll be okay. You know, it's not a perfect animation in the first place, so I think I'll live. I'm just sitting here like hunched over, tweaking, like, nudging things pixel by pixel, trying to get it to line up perfectly. I have to just accept the fact that it's not going to happen. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, I don't know how the middle frames are doing, but I just made my way up the list, and there's lots of whiteness. Here's frame 17 is being ghosted right now, just to help you see, but like, look at his legs are like perfect. Here, let's turn up the opacity a bit. But first of all, the feet are drawn like the exact same shape, because the shape of the feet isn't exactly consistent, but I thought it was gonna drift over time, but frame 1 and frame 17, which is actually frame 33, because each picture is gonna be held for 2 frames, but it actually matches up. Let's see how well the girl matches up, actually. I wasn't really paying attention, although her whole body moves. Her anchor point is kind of this piece of her dress, but she does move. Like, as you can see, his feet stay in place, but her whole body moves. I think it's, yeah, I think it's pretty good. So now I have this levels layer, because you can add levels to an individual layer, or you can use adjustment layers to adjust levels for everything below. And the reason I don't adjust the levels individually is because it won't be consistent. Some might be a bit more white, some might be a bit more gray. So by using this adjustment layer, it affects all the layers below it equally. So I have it turned off just for the sake of lining everything up. So this is with it off, this is with it on. It just whitens the whites, kind of darkens the darks. And now I just have to go in and get rid of any spots. Like, there was this little dot on my printer, so that's on at least half of the pictures. And there's also a couple up here. So I'm just gonna get rid of all those, and then I'm gonna have to trim it. Actually, I might not trim it. I might just bring them as they are into After Effects, because I don't know how to crop this to be exactly, like, I could use a crop tool. The thing is, if I use the crop tool to do something that's 1920 by 1080, it's actually really small. It's like this big on the thing. And so I don't really want to do that. I think I'm just going to leave them as they are, save them off as PNGs, and bring them into After Effects. And then the project will just crop the images when you bring them in. So that's what I'm going to do that. I just find this really amusing for some reason when I'm scrolling through the pictures. It's like kind of being animated. Alright, so here I have all the frames, and I duplicated them all. So instead of 1 through 17, it's now 1 through 34. And then I'm going to import that into After Effects, and it'll detect it as being an image sequence. And yeah, it should work out. So here we go. Alright guys, so here's what it looks like in After Effects. And there might be a bit of weird ghosting because this is 24 frames a second. My camera records in 30 frames a second. I noticed that when I was showing you my other animations on Hit Record, there was a weird little ghosting effect. But yeah, that's it. It is a total of 6 seconds long, and it can be trimmed a bit if they need to, because they said the bumper should be 3 to 5 seconds. So I just gave that extra bit of handle on the beginning and end so they can crop it to be whatever length they want it to be. So that is my little animation. Hello. It's not perfect. I mean, her arm flops around a lot because the gap between her arm and dress doesn't stay consistent. But everything else to me looks pretty good. There's the odd little dot you can see in the background that'll randomly appear, but oh well, this is it. This is it, folks. So I'm happy to finally have this done. I just have to export it now, upload it to Hit Record, and I'm not going to worry about music. I think I'm just going to leave it up to someone else to add music to it, and that makes it a bit more of a collaborative effort that way, because I don't want to waste my time trying to find music. So yeah, I also want to do that making of video and post that to hit record. I don't know for sure if it's going to go on YouTube or not. It'd have to be a separate version with different music. And the version that would go on hit record would be shorter and there'd be no narration, just music. Whereas the one on YouTube would be narration and then music kind of cut into it. So I don't know if it's going to go on YouTube or not because it's not the kind of thing I post to my channel. It might be like, if you want to see it, go to hit record. It might be that kind of thing. So, but yeah. Yay, little animation is done. Nothing fancy, but it's really cute. At least I think so. So I edit all my YouTube videos in Premiere Pro. And for those of you that also edit in Premiere Pro, you should know that it saves a bunch of cached files to a hidden folder and it takes up so much space on your computer. I first figured this out like back around the time I started the vlogs, I think. And I downloaded this program called Tree Size, and it tells you where your space is being used up on your computer. And I found this hidden folder, and I was like, what the hell, Adobe? Like, you make this huge ass folder. It was something like 60 gigabytes in that folder, I think. And I just checked it again today. I had 34 gigabytes of stuff, and I was like, delete. So where you find it is in whatever drive you're using. So I'm doing it in my C drive because my D drive is a lot bigger, so the C drive is the one that ends up filling up all the time. So C drive, users, your name, and then you're looking for a folder called app data. And as you can see, there's no folder called app data. So if you type it in yourself, it should bring a little drop down here for me because I've already typed it in before. And then you go into roaming and then Adobe and then down to common media cache files. And this is where they will all be. And the more you edit, the more stuff you're going to have in there. So there could be tons of useless files in there taking up all the space on your computer. So look into that. If you use Premiere Pro, ooh, voice crack, definitely get rid of those files. Okay, so I just exported it and look what happened. La 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 la. I'm just gonna try to export it again, but what was that? Oh my god. So it looks like it actually plays fine in Windows Media Player and in VLC, just not in QuickTime, which is a little weird. I don't know, I guess I'll try uploading it to hit record and see if it works. So I got it all uploaded to hit record and it plays just fine. There's not that weird error at the end, so I think it's all good to go. It's super late though, it's nearly midnight. Well, I guess I'm going to bed now, so thanks for watching and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, ridiculously amazing voice. So hold on, let's play some of this. I don't really care where we go down the highway, down back road, making this